So is the laundry done?
Yep, check.
Towels folded?
Yep.
Shirts pressed?
Yep.
Groceries bought?
Yep.
Dinner prepared?
Yep.
Paramania radio turned on? Well?
Uh-oh.
Don't let this happen to you. Paramania's here. Join us at paramaniaradio.com.
Hosted by forensic psychologist Sarah Soderlin and paranormal investigator David Erickson. State of Mind is a show that features mentalism, mystery, and modern psychology with twists of cognitive process and challenges of the mind. News, discoveries, banter, and guests that talk all things fascinating. Join them every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern, only on paramaniaradio.com.
So it's Monday.
Yeah.
And what do we always do on Monday?
Well, duh. We go there.
Where at?
Paramania? How long you been doing this?
Well, long enough, but we need to let other people know.
I know you'd be like,
this is Teresa, and please come join us for Sit, Chat, and Laugh with the Lynches. Jay will
And
make
this
you
is
laugh.
Jay. Hey, y'all, this is Big Dumb Redneck. Come listen to us here on paramaniaradio.com.
I'll get out my stones and my crystals and make you feel all tingly inside.
And I'm about as sensitive as a rock.
You are a rock.
This party's one. What time?
7 to 9 p.m. Where are you at?
I'm right here. I'm
Why?
sitting next to you. You're looking at me.
No, I've been in the studio with you. You do bad things.
Oh, no, not all the time. You guys come and listen to us.
I
on
would.
paramaniaradio.com.
I would, because she's funny.
Monday nights, 7 p to 9 p.
Eastern Daylight Time. paramaniaradio.com.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Paramania, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
You are listening to Paramania Radio.
You're listening to the Parasearch UK radio show with your hosts Kerry Greenaway and Jay Lynch, right here on Paramania Radio.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Parasearch UK radio show. I am Jay, with my lovely, beautiful host on the side of the pond in England, Miss Kerry Greenaway. How are you, love?
I'm absolutely fine, thank you. And how are you?
Oh, meaner than hell, because this is going to be a fun night tonight. I'm going to put a disclaimer out there right now. I did not pick the topic this week. This is not my fault. I'm going to have fun with it, but it's not my fault.
This is all me. I am going to hold my hands up to this one.
We're also getting to be blessed to get being joined by Teresa and Dr. Dave. So how you guys doing this evening?
I'm doing good. Doing well. Kind of anxious to get started on the topic.
Maybe this is a topic that a good doctor can get into.
He's not coming on, is he, tonight? He's got far too much to do in the background. He told you this. Didn't pay attention.
I don't listen half the time. I also get forgetful.
Okay, so being as I picked the topic, I'll start the conversation.
Yeah, round one.
And here we go. There was another article. I love these articles. I'm so all over these articles at the moment. Teresa actually sent this to me, and it was about, I love this. It was a Jack Sparrow impersonator who married the ghost of a Haitian pirate. Whoop, whoop.
Name Jack.
Yeah. Amanda Teague from Downpatrick in Northern Ireland. She said, he is my soulmate. And I read this article, and after we've now the last few weeks, there's been a kind of a theme going on We've had articles about sex with ghosts, which we've talked about. We then did ladies pleasuring themselves, and now opening portals to hell. And now we've got this article of a woman who couldn't find a real husband, married this ghost. Oh my goodness me. What the hell is going on is what I want to ask. This is it's getting ridiculous. Do we not think this is now getting a little ridiculous?
A little.
A whole lot.
A little. And what absolutely disturbs me even more about it is she's actually from Ireland. I didn't think we had anybody that batshit crazy from Ireland. I know we're all nuts, don't get me wrong, but I didn't know we birds on the realm of being absolute batshit crazy.
Oh, I would just like to say I didn't realise Haitian pirates were in Ireland. Or
yeah, no
am I
shit.
missing the point correct, or am I missing completely the point?
Well, I think pirates could originate from Ireland or England, but a lot of them ended up sailing down into the Caribbean.
A lot of people of Irish descent became pirates. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
that's
but
true. That's true.
It does say a Haitian pirate. What's it doing in Ireland now? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. She married him.
And he was executed over 300 years ago for theft at sea.
Yeah, this lady is actually a Captain Jack Sparrow.
And there's a comment in the
impersonator.
chat room that says attention-seeking fruitcakes. Sam hit it right on the head right there. This is, I mean, it's just getting absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
No. You guys go ahead. I'm actually going to try to be nice tonight. I'm not going to try to.
You
Carry
can't,
on, Kerry.
you can't even complete the sentence.
You can't.
Kerry,
Well,
Kerry.
they actually sailed into international waters to get married on a boat. And a psychic was there to say, I do for Jack. And Amanda Sparrow, because she actually changed her name by deed poll because she is this Captain Jack Sparrow impersonator. So she said, he is my soulmate and I am so happy. And it is the perfect kind of relationship for me. Okay, that's, whatever floats your boat, I suppose. The article goes on and on, basically. And what's striking me about all of these situations and these articles isn't the fact that women are putting themselves out for ridicule, basically, for these sort of things. Now, I'm very, very open-minded. I would just like to say this. I am a very open-minded person, but I really, really find these sort of things quite ridiculous. What I want to know is, looking at it on a bigger picture, Samuel, I'm just about to address that. Is this because with the empowerment of women, which there's been an awful lot recently, we're very empowered on a spiritual basis. We're very empowered we've become a lot more empowered in the home. We've become a lot more stronger characters. With the empowerment of women, has that disempowered men to the point where we're kind of not needing them anymore? We're just burying ghosts and doing that.
No, I need my man.
So
Just
do
putting
I.
that out there. I need you, Jay.
But we are seeing these articles and these women coming forward and saying things like this so much nowadays. Yes, they could all be crackpots or whatever, but whatever happens, they're doing this. And it's all sending a really strong message out. So is this one of the reasons why? I mean, mental health issues in men has risen dramatically in the last 20 years. Have men lost their way with the empowerment of women? They don't know what to do now. They're like, we don't know what to do. You women are doing it all for yourselves. What the hell are we doing?
I disagree with that because it doesn't. I've always said in my family, when I was growing up and stuff, my aunts worked out in the field with us on my family farm, my grandparents' farm, just as much as the men did. We all did things, period. That's just the way we were always raised, that everybody can do anything. We never looked at gender. I mean, my aunts would be out there baling hay right beside my uncles. It didn't mean nothing for us. So I'd never seen that. But I do think that over the last 20 years, society has definitely feminized men and downplayed them big time. I think it's been but it seems like they think they have to tear all men down to build up females and women, and I think that's absolutely not right. There are men that are complete assholes and egotistical and chauvinists and all that other things, but that doesn't mean you have to ridicule all men to punish the guilty.
Mm.
I mean, come on. Man bun.
Douche donut.
No. See the hair.
I quite
the
like a
hairstyle.
man bun. I quite like a man bun.
I
I've
don't
got no
have
problems with man buns.
I'll be honest with that. I've made absolutely fun of it. I've even called them douche donuts.
Yep.
But because of one simple fact, that is a hairstyle that has been a hairstyle for men with long hair all the way back through time. Even Shogun warriors put their hair up like that and put them up in buns and things like that. But it's not no longer just saying it's a hairstyle. It had to become a man bun. It has to have a feminine quality about whatever they rename things. They can't just say, he's got his hair up in a ponytail. It has to be a man bun because women have buns. They have the bun hairstyle is noted for women. So no matter what happens, everything they rename, everything we do, they have to rename it with a feministic gender to it. They do. They rename everything. Demasculinizing everything. When both genders, masculine and feminine, are just as important. That's what everybody keeps saying, but yet they tear one down to build up the other one. But yet if it does the other way, then it's wrong. But if women demasculinate men, that's fine. But if men are defeminize women, then they're racist, chauvinist bastards. That's the double standard society nowadays. It's just the way it is. It sucks, but let's face it, that's the reality of the situation. We are absolutely tearing down one side to build up another, but we do that with everything. We victimize one side and make the other side guilty, and we make them pay all these penalties for what happened X amount of years ago, no matter what it is, and they tear them down. So to build this side up, we're going to have to tear that side down because, they were on top, so let's put the other guy on top and make fun of the other person. It's okay now that it's going the reverse way, but don't do it the other way. It's just double standard bullshit.
If you haven't found out by now, Jay absolutely detests double standards.
I do. I can't help it. I hate the thing about man flu. That irritates the shit out of me. There's no time in my life I've ever been sick that I laid down and whined about having the sniffles. And if there's men acting like that, kick them in the ass. Get them up and get them going. Don't allow them to do it. If you help them perpetuate that and you sit there and cater to them, you're allowing him to be that way. And then you can't try. So you help them whine and snivel, but then turn around and bitch about them doing it. You can't do it both ways.
So the empowerment of women, which has happened and is happening even now. There's so many things that, we're talking from a, metaphysical, spiritual perspective more than any other field, has been such a huge movement. Why hasn't there been, bearing in mind what you've said, the same for men? There are spiritual men. I'm not saying there aren't. And it is becoming a thing. But it's almost like if you embrace your spirituality, it's not manly. It's not acceptable in the way it is. Yeah, I love a spiritual man. I think there's some absolutely amazing spiritual men out there. But is that undermining other qualities in men, do you think?
Yes.
Why should it?
It shouldn't. That's just it. That's what pisses me off about it, is that I'm supposed to allow a lady, a woman, whatever you want to call them. I don't want to sit there and get, he called him this, he called him that. A female to be anything that she wants to be, and I'm supposed to encourage her. But yet, if I encourage my son to be more masculine and be, let's be one of the old guys, like the old lumberjack guys, then I'm teaching him to be a chauvinist. But if I teach my daughter that she can go out and be a lumberjack, then that's cool. But if I teach my son he's going to do that, then I'm just teaching him to be another male chauvinist. It's a double bullshit standard. And Sam in the chat room said top knot. That's what they did used to call it. Top knot. When it was a top knot, it's a hairdo. But then they had to feminize it and call it a man bun. They have to put that it's just tearing down the whole masculinity. And then when you tear it down, people goes, well, men just aren't men anymore. Because you won't freaking let them be. If they be a man, you bitch about it. If they don't be a man, you bitch about it. Make up my mind. What do you want out of me? I can't be what you want me to be if you keep flip-flopping it around. Pick one.
But you can be both. Isn't that the whole point?
The whole point is that you can be
whatever
both.
you want to be.
Exactly.
But are men missing that point, do you think? Are men missing that point? Or
No.
is it women that are not allowing that?
No, I can't say no. Not all men. Some men are missing that point. And some women are missing it also. They're not allowing it to be. One side wants us to say they can be whatever they want to be. Teach your little girl to be whatever they want to be. But if I teach my son to be, like I said, if I teach him to be all out man and masculine, then I'm teaching him to be chauvinist. No, I'm not. If I ever hear him downgrading somebody, no matter what, because of any reason, I won't tolerate it. I can't stand somebody to downgrade somebody else. I fought every bully out I could ever face. I'm 50 years old. If I see somebody bullying somebody tomorrow, I'm going to go punch them in the face. And I'm going to get involved in it. I'm going to teach them and show them exactly how they're treating somebody else. I'm not afraid of that consequence. That doesn't scare me. Never has.
See, I like a man to be a man, but in touch with his spirituality. But that doesn't make him a weak person. That makes him stronger, in my view, because he's in touch with his self.
Well, I'm going to use myself as an example. I am very outspoken. I am very opinionated. I'm not going to lie about it. But I'm also, like you said earlier about yourself, I'm also very open-minded, and it shows by coming on these shows. I want to understand. I want to learn. I don't want to be, back when I was younger, I was an asshole. I was all out, just chauvinistic, hateful, rude. But when it came to Teresa, I was a complete sissy. And I've learned that middle ground now, and I've taught my son that middle ground. Mm-hmm. There is no one way or the other way. There is a middle ground for all of us.
Yes.
It's just that people are so used to one way being so superior that they have to force them down to build the other side up. No, why can't you just reach over and help each other up and stand together? Not in front of, not behind.
Together.
It's real simple. It really is. So, I mean, I'm blessed in that situation with the relationship that I have with Teresa.
We are.
I don't. More of the things I could never stand that she does, and I still don't like it when she does it once in a while. She says, I'm going to run over to my friend's house. Do you care? Yes, I do. She says, what do you mean? I said, don't ask me. She says, well, I was just telling you. I said, no, you stated that as a question. You're a educated, smart, beautiful, strong, independent woman. I'm going to go to my friend's house. Do you mind if I go? I'm just letting you know that I'm going, or would you like to go with me? That's a different thing. But do you care? No, I don't care. And you know I don't care. But you don't need my permission to do a damn thing.
But it wasn't
nothing ever.
I didn't mean it as in asking your permission. I had to learn to reword my things with him. I was just basically saying, do you have any other plan? Is it okay that I go? Or do you have something planned? But I didn't state that.
Right. The way you stated it was that it comes off in asking permission. Right. My son, he's almost 19 now, and I stand with him, and I parent in a hard way. I let him, knowing full well, I think I'm going to do this, Dad. You know, it's a really bad idea. I think I'll be okay.
Okay. We have actually had a question in the chat room. The question was, how would you define spirituality? Now, for me, that is having faith in whatever faith that is. So whether that's yourself, whether that's crystals, whether that's energy, whatever that is, being open-minded and being strong enough within yourself to embrace an open mind in regards to some form of faith. That's what I would say. My faith is in crystals and energy. And for me, that's what that means to me. For everybody, that's different. So I'm not buying into a stereotype. I'm not buying into I should be involved in dolls and decorating and cooking and that sort of thing. I will embrace what I wish to embrace and be confident enough to do that, no matter what that is. I mean, I've got one of my best friends. She loves tinkering around in a garage with a car. Nothing better on a Sunday. You find her in the garage up to her knees in oil and stuff, and I'm like, oh, not my bag, but you love it. Do you know what I mean? So for her, that
whatever
embraces. It makes her happy and it embraces herself. So if a bloke was to do, whatever it was he wanted to do, as long as he's happy doing that and he embraces that, then that is, and confident to embrace that and not feel ridiculed because he doesn't like football or, with his friends. You know what I mean? That is what I would class as, embracing yourself and being empowered within yourself is having the confidence and the strength to be exactly who you are and not be afraid of tags like nerd, geek, those kind of things. And if that involves some form of energy work or spirituality or crystals or going to church or whatever it be, the confidence and the self-awareness that that's what makes you happy, that is what I would class as knowing your own, what makes you happy, your own spirituality. You know what I mean? Now, if somebody wishes to embrace dark forces and that makes them happy, that's up to them. I personally wouldn't get involved in that. But if that's what that person does and it makes them happy, that for them is their spirituality. What do we think of that? What would your guys' view of that?
Being embracing dark forces for spirituality?
I think that could be their spirituality if that's what they want, in the same aspect from what you just described. If that makes them happy, makes them connect, makes them feel fulfilled, then that would be their spirituality.
Yeah,
but what is embracing dark forces?
Who's to say that one way is correct and one way is incorrect?
But
it's what is correct and for that one person.
What is embracing a dark force? What I consider dark, you may not.
Yeah,
it's like anything else. Everything about spirituality, religion, everything else is so personal. I mean, that's like a lot of people don't realize that there's just in the Christianity faith alone, there's over 4,200 different denominations of it. I mean, it's just crazy. There's now, if you break down the denominations, just go with just Baptists alone, there's thousands of different Baptist cults of it, for lack of a better word, because there's Northern Baptists, there's Southern Baptists, there's this Baptist, there's that Baptist. Come on, give me a break. They can't even agree on anything. So if that one's doing that, then they're doing wrong. So now that's a dark thing to them, even though it might not be. So it's such a personal issue to look at things as dark. And everybody's going to say, we know if it's evil, it's demonic or something like that. Well, there's a lot of religions in the world that don't recognize demonic. The main three that do is Christianity, Islamic, and Judaism. They talk about heaven and hell and demons and stuff like that. Most of the others don't even recognize things like that. There's good and bad. There's right and wrong. They don't actually have demons and all that other stuff.
Right.
So who's right and who's wrong? Who's to say?
Mm.
It's all a matter of perspective.
And spirituality is very personal as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's something very personal for each individual. Now, you might have people, and probably will have people that share the same as you, but each person, I believe, puts their own belief, their own essence into it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think mustard's evil. I hate it. It's nasty. Teresa likes it.
I love the fact that the person asking these questions is actually called Samael.
Right?
Absolutely. And what you just said, one man's demon is another man's demon. And that's true. There's so much variety to it. And to me, that's the whole thing about spirituality is I know how I feel and how I believe. But with my acceptance of my spirituality also says that I will understand yours. And I want to understand how you feel. I want to understand how you believe. But I also have the fourth knowledge and the spirituality of myself to understand that I don't always have to agree with what you feel and believe. And that doesn't make you wrong and make me right. It's just like anything else with the paranormal or anything else. There's no proof to any of those things. So just because someone else is doing it and I don't like it doesn't mean that they're doing something wrong. It just means they're doing something different. It's just the way it is to me. I don't
So, right,
judge things
on
like
that point, but on that point, we can say that, and then we ridicule somebody who's married their soulmate.
Okay, people say that Teresa and I that Teresa married her soulmate, and I'm like, I don't have a soul.
The fact that it's a 300-year-old Haitian monk,
pirate, and that the reason she married said pirate was because she needed him to make an honest woman out of her because they were having sex.
Yeah, but she always had 5 kids.
Right.
She had the dances.
But wearing a white dress was important to her after her 5th kid. I mean, come on, people.
That whole white dress doesn't mean like it used to. That tradition is pretty much null and void. A lot of the old traditions are null and void.
But regardless, she still had a standard, even though he's a ghost.
And they had a medium stand in for him because in her words,
I agree.
In the
psychiatric
lady's
issues,
it says if I gave consent on his behalf, it would put a question mark over the authenticity of the marriage. So we had an independent medium speak for Jack. Like that didn't throw a question mark over it anyway.
Paul said in the chat room, she married him. She was after his gold, like most women. Haha.
Gold digger.
Pirates gold, dig it up. I get it.
Well, it made me think. This is what it did. Was it made me think with all these articles, like I said, we covered in the last few weeks. Why are women doing this? Why are women? You're not seeing men do this. You're not seeing men come out and marry ghost girls, are you? Men are going, really? Oh my God, really?
Well, if you go with statistics, women outnumber men, so, and they say there's somebody for everybody, but there's not enough living men to accommodate all the living women if there's one for one, so y'all got to get some somewhere.
It says that this lady, listen to this, it says, she wishes now to spread more information about the possibilities of a relationship with a ghost, and she and Jack are co-writing a book named Ain't No Grave Can Hold My Body Back to advise
So she's got a ghostwriter?
To advise singletons on how they too can bag themselves a ghost partner.
Posthumous marriage is legal in some cultures. In fact, in France, it was legal for what did I see that? There's a big article about it for.
Richard said that earlier.
Yeah, Richard said it in the chat room too. There's an article I'd read about a week or two ago about it, and said how they could get up to a year after they're deceased or something like that to get their benefits and things. Oh, it's crazy. But with China back then, they also had the thing about their big belief was with the thing was about their ancestors and stuff, and a lot of other cultures, even a lot of other pagan cultures or whatever you want to call them, Native American cultures had to think about how their ancestors were always with you and always around you, and so.
And I don't understand why. I just don't get why you.
My ghostwriter joke was liked in there though. Nah, 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 nah. I thought it was hysterical.
Well, you would.
I did, but when we've talked about spirituality, this is obviously what this is for her. This is for her. This is obviously part of hers.
But her spirituality, yeah, in a whole different way. Not spirituality as in faith or belief, right. But spirituality in a spirit bone. So she's got incubus, succubus.
I just looked up the definition of spirituality.
Oh, of course you did. Did you Google it?
Yes, I did.
So Google's always right, huh?
It said the quality of being concerned with the human spirit or soul as opposed to material or physical things.
I'm spiritual as hell things. I give a shit about most physical things.
That's just what it said.
Yes, dear. So, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's absolutely ridiculous with how some of this is going. It really is.
I think it's very silly. I do think media do love a story. Let's get that out there for a start. The media love a kooky story, and they're finding them at the moment. And they're finding them. Ghosts, paranormal is very big at the moment. There's a lot of interest in it. We know that from all the groups that pop up and all the, ghost hunting event teams and stuff that are around at the moment. It's very on trend, isn't it? And these kind of stories do hit the media, and they are fluff reads. But I don't get why you would put yourself up for ridicule. That's the thing.
I can't help it. I got to start having some fun with this. So they're married. He's a ghost. How they communicate? they had to have when they got married, they had to have a medium there to. So what you do? Get out the Hack
Because
Shack or
she
the
couldn't-
SB7 or SB11 to have a conversation and an argument with them? So aren't you not
use
supposed
the
to?
pirate, they use the ghost arc.
Aren't you not supposed to investigate your own home? But how can you not have a discussion with your spouse if they're dead and you don't have an investigation?
Yeah. Very good. But I mean, I get that she wants to impersonate somebody that she admires on TV and earn money out of it. You know, I get that bit. Totally get that bit. You know, you could go and make a living doing that. To then take it to, I mean, she changed her name. She's changed her name to Amanda Sparrow. And she spent a hell of a lot of money changing herself into, you know, that character. And I get that. You know, with impersonators, that's no problem. It's the next step where she's taken that and gone into I married a Haitian pirate that I then find a step too far, in my opinion. But like I say, media, they love a weird and wacky article.
Now, to me, your first clue, maybe not your first, but your first clue should be the fact that they had to go into international waters to have the marriage done.
The first clue is who's the dumbass who still be wanting to do it out on international waters.
They got married by a shaman.
Which
well,
is
in international
great.
waters, you claim to be anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Hell, in international waters, I can claim to be the Pope. It's international waters. Nobody else has any say-so over me. If I'm the captain of the ship, I'm in control. I can claim to be anything I want to be.
It says that they traveled into international waters to ensure the legality of their marriage would be upheld when they returned to Ireland.
I mean, again, let's zoom out on this. If she has married a ghost, then we can record this, surely. If she's having interaction with a ghost on whatever level, we can... Have I checked the facts? No, I read the article. That's why we're talking about it. I haven't phoned the woman to check the facts. Read the article. But if people are doing this, if people are interacting with ghosts in this way, then we should be able to get a team in there, like we said last time about the other article we discussed, and hopefully be able to get the data we need to prove that there is something more there. There is something going on. Surely. Isn't this the whole point of this? If people are, or ladies are, in the two instances we've discussed in regard to these articles, we discussed this before, same fact, same thing, whether it's a marriage or just the other, you know, we should be able to, you know, have, if they've got these close relationships, then surely we as investigators should be able to, you know, go and sort this out. You know, see if we can actually get recordings on whatever gadget or digit or...
I agree. If they're having this close and all this activity, interaction with one another, this should be the absolute easiest place on earth to gather evidence.
Exactly.
It should be so simple to gather evidence. If they're there together that much and they're interacting that much on a day-to-day basis, is in a relationship, should be absolutely the easiest place on earth to get credible evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Credible evidence by what standards, though?
I mean,
by my K2 meter? Bullshit.
Do they sit down and have
by my flashlight session?
by my beeping toy? Yeah, but we should be able to at least gather data.
By today's standards.
By today's standards. True. That's true. But even down to physiological responses and stuff like that, surely, at least gather some decent data from this. If she's got this close relationship to the point where they got engaged and married, you know, and have an interaction.
You know, who are you going to have record it? I mean,
I'll take one for the team.
If you think about it, if you think about it, even with the other lady that we talked about the other day,
I'll take one for the team. I'll have to record it.
That is and if they are married,
Can I Facebook Live it?
Say it would be a true. Okay, that's something intimate between a husband and wife.
Doesn't have to be though, because if they're married, they're having that kind of relationship. They're not just having the other, you know.
Oh,
they're married.
It's for attention, every bit of it. I mean, even by her, I'm not down on her for wanting to imitate being Jack Sparrow. I mean, I don't care whether you're male or female, whatever you want to imitate,
Right.
a character out of a movie, you want to cosplay, whatever you want to call it, that's fine. But even assuming the name of Jack Sparrow and now saying that she's married a pirate is evidence that it's, and now they're going to write a book with her, of course, with her ghostwriter with her, and it's all about getting attention. Like they said in the chat room earlier, it's all about attention. Now she's trying to get popularity and fame off of it so she can make money. It's nothing more than that. And a little bit of fact of, like I said earlier, she's batshit crazy. She needs a little bit of help.
I wonder if this is going to cause, like,
Just exactly what's the bad seat to make their shit so crazy.
ghost boxes to go up right now, and people are going to want to buy them because you've got these women that aren't married. If they're going to be hunting for somebody, is it going to cause, are we going to suddenly are we going to suddenly have a run on ghost boxes?
Are they truly actually, when looking for these things because they want so desperately to have a relationship, are they actually naming them pirates and all this other stuff? They're actually not summoning a incubus or succubus, and getting themselves delved into a situation that's even more chaotic than what they could possibly handle? Are they actually bringing forth things from the dark side?
Well, put it this way, yeah, I haven't got a relationship, and it doesn't bother me that I haven't. But I certainly wouldn't be going looking for a ghost one. I mean, it's my hobby, but not to look for ghost hubbies, obviously. But going out looking for ghosts and paranormal investigating. But I certainly wouldn't try and conjure that for myself because of that. But then, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. And then sit there with my K2 meter or my spirit box or something just to, it's an avenue that you just wouldn't go down. It's just
a normal person would not go
exactly.
down.
Well, this is true.
This has got so much more going to
it. A normal person wouldn't, but
I mean, I'm not right in the head to begin with, so somebody like me can recognize somebody that's absolutely beyond not right in the head, and this needs so much going on there. That's just needs some actual professional help on this issue.
Andy says doubt it, just batshit crazy.
Sorry, everybody, just choking.
But on the grand scheme of things, she's not actually hurting anybody, not even herself.
No, she's obviously perfectly happy doing what she's
happy.
Doing.
Right.
She's enjoying herself imitating Jack Sparrow. She's happy with her relationship and her little mind, and in her little world,
all's right in her world.
Everything is good, better than it's ever been in her life. How is the effect of this acting out? How's that affecting those 5 children?
She surely could have found like a normal, I say normal, an alive person to have a relationship with. Surely. You don't need to be going off having relationships with ghosts. I find that absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, now I'm coughing up demons. I do apologise. I find that ridiculous. You know what I mean?
But that's attention. That's grabbing for attention. I'm tired of being lonely. I'm tired of being lonely. But why do you have to put it out there? Why do you have to put it out there publicly? Other than the fact of, now we're writing a book. And I also, by the way, if you need a good Jack Sparrow imitator, you can hire me. It's all about
quite frankly, she has now taken herself completely off the market because she's now married to this ghost, right? So if she ever did meet an alive man that wants a relationship with her, what we're going to have next? Ghost divorce?
I was going to say she'd have to get divorced.
Out in international waters because marriage isn't recognized anywhere else.
It says to be legally recognized in Ireland,
she had to be married in international water.
Married in international water.
And Andy M in the
she's
chat
going
room
to have
says,
to get divorced, or she's going to be
out in international waters,
or she's going to be committing adultery.
Now, as Andy M in the chat room said, has it occurred to her that Jack Sparrow didn't exist? Maybe she was hoping to marry Johnny Depp.
Yeah, well, he's going to marry me, so I'm afraid. Sorry, he's going to marry me.
So which one of his characters are you going to give a name to one of the ghosts that you meet now? Sorry, Kerry's going away to marry. She met a ghost. She's very happy now. She's marrying Edward Scissorhands. She's changed her name to Scissorhands.
Right, Kerry Scissorhands. Yeah, I mean, where does it stop? Where does all this stop? And this is no different from, in my view, the sensationalism that is caused through certain programs regarding ghosts and spirits. It's sensationalism at its peak. And like you said, attention seeking at its peak. And it's ridiculous and it's silly, and stop it now, because there's enough of this. Do you not think, I'm going proper Essex these days, that it's enough now? The field is not being taken seriously enough.
Well, but we can make this whole thing go away or be proven or disproven. All we got to do is, as you said, TV shows that made me think of it. All we need is Zach Baggins to go investigate.
Wow.
That's proof of everything we need right there.
All righty then.
What?
We have our own version in the UK. It's not quite as bad as that, but, well, it is. No, it's not, we've talked about TV shows anyway. They're not. The sensationalism is getting on my nerves. We have reality ghost hunting. We have women marrying ghosts. We have, it's, come on, guys. Seriously, we're trying to do serious work to look in different ways to prove something that hasn't been proved yet. You know what I mean? We're working on theories. There is a serious side to this, and that is being ridiculed, completely ridiculed. And not only that, it sends out a wrong message that women are getting so empowered that they feel they can say pretty much whatever they like in the media. And how we're supposed to be empowering. That is not an empowering thing. She'll see that as very empowering because she's doing what she wants to do and she's perfectly happy. But for the rest of women, we're all looking at it going, really? Well, I'd like a real man, thank you, who, yes, embraces his spirituality, but is still a man, not a liquidated form of a perception of disempowerment because us women are so empowered. Come on.
I think the balance is women so complete.
Yes, and it's so completely out of balance at the moment that it's getting on my nerves. It's getting on my nerves, everybody.
It's like anything else. For as hard as women and people in the world in general, men and women, are fighting to be recognized and accepted for who and what they are, you have someone like this that steps up, whether it be paranormal investigating or anything else. You have someone like this steps up, and it takes all that hard work that 5 million people have done, and it's the old saying: you can have 1 billion attaboys, and it only takes one oh shit to wipe it away. This is one of those oh shit that sets everything back, way back from where, and it's taken 2 steps forward and 30,000 steps backwards. It sets it back every single time. It sets back the credibility. It sets back everything because now people would judge it from that.
And Andy says in the chat room, we're never going to be taken seriously by the outside world while this stuff is going on.
It's absolutely true. It just keeps setting us all back.
I completely agree with that.
Now,
this field is so huge, and there's so much history and so much knowledge, and there's so much on so many different levels that it's been, you only got to say I'm into paranormal investigating, for example, and 9 times out of 10, if somebody hasn't got a clue, they'll sing the Ghostbusters theme to you, that, and then they might have read this particular article and then start talking to you about that, and you're like, for God's sakes, actually, you want to read this book, you want to read Colin Wilson, or you want to go and read this book, and actually the field is so huge, there's so many different aspects to it, and I'm not even touching on like the mythology and the folklore and the energy work that people do and stuff like that. Forget the scientific side, that's a whole different ballgame. But there's a lot more to it. I mean, I'm reading this book. See, we're back to books. I'm reading this book at the moment, and it is fascinating. The work that has gone into this is absolutely fascinating, and it is so. I can't tell you. I'm learning. And that is the whole point. You're not going to educate yourself when you've got crap like that coming out of people, if she wants that, that's absolutely fine. Go and do it. Don't hit the media with it. What about all the serious work that's being done? Why aren't people getting to know about that? Most teams go out and do the same as they see on TV, week after week, day after day. They're going out there doing the same. They're not bothering to push it forward, to see what they can do. They might be doing it a little bit, but they're not really educating themselves on the whole field. And I know I'm probably a little bit different because I will read the books and I will go and talk to, I've got that opportunity and I'm very lucky to have that opportunity. But that's available to anybody who's into this field.
All you got to do is step up and do it.
Right.
All you got to do is talk to people. It's pretty easy. It really is. I mean, a lot of people are intimidated by it. But now I'm going to play devil's advocate here on this. We talk about how this puts everybody back in the field, da-da-da-da-da-da. Are we a part of the problem? This is like 3 out of 4 weeks that we've seen these kind of S9 articles, and I've jumped all over and wanted to talk about them.
And we're bringing them to the spotlight.
We're bringing them attention. We're giving them exactly what they want.
This is very true.
Are we perpetuating the problem? We're bitching about it, but yet we're throwing gasoline on a fire and thinking it's going to go away.
They're still getting notoriety for it. It's like, a kid will do anything to get attention, whether it's good attention or bad attention. It's still attention.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Are we perpetuating the problem? We don't like it, but yet we get on here and we talk about it. We talked about the woman, who had sex with ghosts. We talked about the other one. Now we're talking about this one who married a pirate ghost. We're actually bringing attention to it. It has to be addressed. Don't get me wrong, but what's the point to where we're actually helping this situation? We're giving them that notoriety that they want, because if enough radio shows talk about it, enough networks talk about it, pretty soon somebody else will pick it up. It'll be like that one woman over there in England that they'll have her on primetime TV during the morning show or something like that. So now we're actually enabling them to get the attention that they want.
That is a very, very good point. It's an incredibly good point. We are giving it airtime, as it were, and maybe we shouldn't be. But the message behind that
it's also so funny.
Pardon?
It's also so damn funny.
Well, we may be making fun of her,
but we're still giving her attention.
Even
bad attention's attention.
Right.
True, but this is no different from there was a full-bodied apparition allegedly caught by a team on a program that hit the media. We called this full-bodied apparition. The paranormal field went crazy over that. So many people were going, we can recreate that footage. This was so-and-so and so-and-so. Look at it in this way, look at it in that way. Did it actually educate the people in the field, or did the people in the field go, oh, for God's sakes, really? Oh, whereas just a fan would be blown away by that.
Max says,
so am I just preaching to the choir on this, is where I'm going with that point. Sorry.
Sometimes we are. I mean, but we still have to keep preaching.
Somebody somewhere will need the message.
Right.
True.
But
it frustrates me because it's a whole field. Yeah, but it is frustrating me because it is a whole field out there. A whole field of people working, researching, writing fantastic books, fantastic books. And the shame of this is half the time people aren't reading these books, and they need to be. If you're going to learn about your field, if you're going to do the paranormal, it's like a guitar. You pick up a guitar, you might be able to rack out a couple of basic tunes. But to get really good, you've got to learn and you've got to practice and you've got to keep on going. And then you might become a really knowledgeable, great guitarist. The paranormal field is no different. You've got to keep pushing it. You've got to keep reading. You've got to keep learning. You've got to keep educating yourself, not just in the tech or the science or the occult or the what differences in ghosts or all of those different fields. There are so many different aspects to it. So keep reading, keep learning, keep pushing it forward. And then one day we might actually see decent articles in the mainstream media pushing the field forward rather than attention-seeking 5-minute fames.
Like me.
You're not a 5-minute attention-seeking fame hunter, are you?
No. I just like being an ass.
And Kaz has put a good point in the chat room. She said people are lazy and would rather watch YouTube instead of searching for new knowledge.
Mm-hmm. But as a whole, our society's gotten lazy completely. No matter what it is, whether it's about this field or anything else. We also look for that instant gratification. I mean, you like most people you see on Facebook all the time, where people put a long ass thread. Most people won't read it. They'll not read it all the way to the end to find out that most of the time it's a joke. I've even done that before. I posted a long thing that's some big bullshit story, and the very end of it was all a big joke. It's like, haha, just as if you'd read it this far. People get about a quarter way into it, like, oh my God, you okay? I'm like, read all of it. Read it all, dumbass. So it's indicative of what we're doing out in the field also. People are wanting that instant response. A lot of people don't want to take that time to understand that you can go to the same location 20 times and never get nothing, but go that 21st time and it rock your world. Or you go the first night and it rock your world and go back for 500 more times and nothing happened. We always expect that instant response, instant gratification. I'm here, I want, I get, oh yeah, I'm great. Bullshit. You're 9 times out of 10, you're misinterpreting what's actually going on around you in your environment because you didn't take the time to learn your environment.
Andy Mercer says serious research is boring to the average Joe. They want to be spooked, and scary sells advertising space. And that's true.
Yeah.
And Andy also said average attention span for reading is 5 seconds. I can't say anything against that because I am terrible about reading. But I've always been terrible about reading. I'm the kind of person that wants to go do it. Don't sit there and tell me about it. Don't let me read about it. If there's something that I want to learn, or I want to go get my hands on it. I want to go do it. And I want, and if I don't know what I'm doing, I want somebody to say, hey, you're doing that wrong. Okay, why am I doing that wrong? How can I do it better? I've always been that way, though. It doesn't matter what it is. Mom and Dad say, electricity will shock you. So I go stick my finger in the lights. I go, damn, they're right. I just learned a lesson. So there's just the difference in the way people do. So reading is the best way. I'm just terrible for that. I'm the type of person that has to go experience things. Yeah, not just me. Most people are the same. But Teresa and Hunter can read. God bless it. I can
sit down and read a book.
Hunter can read like crazy, and God love it. He got that from his mama. He sure as hell didn't get that from his dad.
No, he did not.
There are a lot of dying arts in this then, aren't there? There's the dying arts of people wanting to learn, the dying arts of allowing men to be empowered themselves. Going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show. It's not dying. Isn't it awful? Isn't it awful? Do you not find this awful?
It's not dying unless we allow it to die. I will not allow somebody to put me down to build themselves up, whether it be because of gender or anything else. But then on the same aspect, I will not tear down another soul to raise mine.
I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that.
So it's
but
just
the majority
of
people aren't, though, are they? The majority of people won't be like that. They'll be all out for themselves.
I guess I'm a hopeless romantic when it comes to humanity. I so disagree with that. I think that we see that and we hear that because that's what the media propagates to us and shoves down our throat about how terrible everything is. But if you really look at the world right now, it's actually one of the safest times. There's less wars going on. There's less famine going on. There's less deaths by this and that. People have a longer lifespan. We're actually living in the most safest time there's ever been. There's been studies to prove that. But that's not what the media wants to tell you. You get away from mainline social media or mainline media and all that stuff, and you go look at some of the other media outlets, you see all these positive things that people are doing. There's a girl that we saw a video tonight where her grandmother's going through stage 4 chemo cancer, and she took one of her grandfather's shirt who had passed away a couple years before and made it had it sewn into a blanket so that way he could be there to hold her while she was going through chemo. I mean, there's so many good things going on, but people don't want to talk about that on the mainstream media. They want to talk about it on the TV and on the radio because that don't sell. No. Terror sells, and terror also keeps you under control.
Well, stupidity sells as well, clearly. Stupidity sells as well.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Jackass. I love them guys, but that's mindless entertainment to me. But then again, I used to do a lot of that same stupid shit just because I thought it was fun.
I don't know. I just find that this, like I said several times tonight, I find the fact that women are prepared to come out and say this very disempowering to men. I find it just well, I find
it's
it
no,
quite
it's no
ridiculous.
disempowering to women.
I try and zoom out as much as I can on this. And if that's what's really happened, then yeah, let's get a team in there. Let's get some data down. Let's get, this taken to the next level, I suppose, as it were.
I guarantee you, if you contacted one of these people who's made these claims and said that you wanted to get a team in there to investigate their claims, I guarantee you that the only people they would let in there would have to be celebrities. They would not let anybody else because that's not what they want. They want that person who's going to agree with them because that person wants to be on TV, so now they get a chance to be on TV. They will not submit to a normal team. They won't. I guarantee you. I'd bet damn near anything. I'd damn near bet my life on it. They want that spotlight, and the only way they're going to have to allow somebody coming in and investigate their claims is it has to be somebody who is considered a celebrity or is on TV. No way they're going to allow anybody else in there. It's not about that. It's all about them and that I'm getting my attention. I'm not a YouTube celebrity. I'm not a Facebook celebrity. I'm not this, I'm that. But now I'm getting the world is looking at me.
I agree.
I mean, Richard says you should never enforce the delusion. Yes, I agree with that. Having said that, though, this is no different from Geoff the Talking Mongoose that Harry Price investigated back in the day. I mean, I looked at that case and thought, really? Someone that trying to look at it from a completely different perspective, if that case had landed on my desk against, something like, I don't know, the Rosalie case, do you know what I mean? The chances are you're going to investigate the Rosalie over Geoff, but he did both. So are we missing a trick here?
Maybe there's a fine line, a medium, where they cross somewhere, and that's where your truth is going to be.
I don't know.
Damn.
Anyway, that got quite impassioned tonight, didn't it, guys?
Absolutely. But I almost showed my smarts a couple times, too.
You almost did. You kept them reined in, though, honey. It's okay.
I know. Scared the hell out of me there for a moment.
Jeez. Don't want to scare me. We'll have to slap it all over the media and say, Jay actually got scared.
That's right.
You know what's going to happen? We're going to have to see if Captain Chris and Wayne can come in early and join us on the show.
Oh, my gosh. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be a nice night.
That would be fun.
Captain Chris and Wayne to come on an hour early, and we could sign off and they go into their show. Bounce some ideas off one another. Let them talk about their events that they have coming up.
That's true.
Not that I'm brown nosing up. Yes, I am.
Anyway, we are at the end of the show. We hope you enjoyed tonight, guys. And
thank you all for listening and joining us.
Yeah, and we bid you farewell.
Good night.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta, my lovelies.
Cheeky monkeys! Cheeky monkeys!
And let me just say, where's the rum?
It's not. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.